Okay, hello everybody. Hello everyone. What is up? Hello, hello. How are you? Welcome. Phil here live on the stream. Welcome to a full day of live streaming. Today is Saturday, March 17th, 2018. We are now in the second half of March. For those who have not been paying attention, I know time flies, doesn't it? So, happy Saturday. For many of you, it is a nice day off from school or work. For some of you, it is not. I understand that. I've been there, done that. I've worked many jobs where I had to work the weekend. In particular, this one. Although this, is very different than my previous jobs, that is for sure. Actually getting to have some fun and enjoyment while I put out an entertaining stream for you guys as a job is pretty damned awesome. Certainly not complaining in any way, shape, or form. This is an amazing experience. To have been able to do this for you guys for a living for 8 years so far is pretty cool. So anyway, welcome everyone to a full day of streaming. That's right, double stream day. What are we doing today? Well, folks, I'm continuing on with my Burnout Paradise remastered run here on First Stream. Now, listen, yesterday I played the game. It was the first time I'd ever played a Burnout game. Not knowing what to expect and not knowing what I was jumping into, all right? And what I can certainly say is this. I would say the driving part, meaning the actual gameplay of Burnout Paradise, I really enjoy. I think the driving mechanics are fun. The fact that there's both races as well as chases where you have to survive, where people are trying to kill you. Also, road rage destruction stages where you're trying to wreck other people. Then there's the silly part where your car just has crazy bouncy physics and you try to make as big of a wreck as you can throughout the city. And then, of course, wrecking special cars to unlock them to get them for your own driving purposes. And then doing special challenge races with those cars. All pretty cool stuff, all right? I have not yet tried online capabilities of this game, and I am aware there are, a full-fledged online stuff, including racing and the like. And yes, I more than likely will try it out. It's not going to be my focus, but I more than likely will at least try out the online component, being that it is kind of seamlessly integrated into the game, where at any point when you're driving around this big open city, you can switch over and do some online play. So I may do some of that mixed in with the gameplay of this game as well, all right? But I'll be quite frank with all of you, all right? Because I am a pretty straightforward guy. I don't beat around the bush. I don't feel Burnout Paradise is a great game for streaming. And you might say, well, why, Phil? Well, it's very simple. There's no story, so there's really nothing for me to react to besides if I make a wrong turn during a race or there's a cool wreck or whatever. But that can only go so far when it comes to reactionary gameplay. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm doing a highlights reel of the best moments. I'm doing a live stream here. So you guys are going to see a lot of downtime of me driving around from corner to corner, from event to event. There's a lot of not necessarily entertaining stuff going on so far during my playthrough of this game, and I get that, all right? I totally get that. Unlike a game like, okay, Need for Speed Payback had a lot of foibles and a lot of issues, but it had a story. So there were cutscenes, there was dialogue in between. It helped to fill the dead air. In this game, there's really nothing to fill the dead air. Now, if you guys wanted to interact, let's say you guys are talking in the stream chat, and I'm talking back to you, and maybe we're shooting the shit as I'm, doing stuff, okay. And we did do that to some extent yesterday, but it's kind of tough when I'm doing a 4-hour gameplay stream, and there's just so much dead air between repetitive racing, or repetitive driving, wrecking, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? So, I don't know if Burnout Paradise is a game that lends itself to being a game to play multiple days on stream. Now, I never would have known this until I tried it. So I'm certainly not upset or I'm not like disappointed or angry or anything like that. I'm just wondering, let's say I play this game today for another 4 hours, and by the end of today's stream, people are just like, all right, we've seen the game, enough is enough, that's enough, let's do some more, right? Do something different. I don't know what to do because I've got 2 days here before new releases start on Tuesday. If you guys aren't aware, Tuesday is the release of Sea of Thieves and then the first expansion for South Park: The Fractured But Whole. And I'll be playing those two things for 3 days straight. So there's going to be 3 new days of totally new content starting this coming Tuesday. All right. And Monday night, my late night stream is going to be me finishing up Bully Scholarship Edition. All right. And the reason being, because I thought I was going to finish it this last week. It ended up being a little bit longer than I had planned. There's still at least 3 or 4 story missions left, plus some side content that I'm close to finishing and getting some achievements for. So it makes sense to do one final stream to wrap up that game Monday night. All right. But outside of that, all right, I'm not sure what to do for the next couple of days. I'm not. You know, I've been debating what should I do? What would be a fun thing to do for me to play for you guys on Sunday and Monday? And, you know, thinking through all the options, okay? Obviously, more multiplayer. We've got Call of Duty and we've got PUBG. But I get the feeling people are really getting burnt out on those two. Those are the 2 games that I've been going back to the well a lot. And people seem to be really bored with them. Fortnite is probably a complete waste of time because, as you guys know, I hate the game. I have done major streams of Fortnite, and since I didn't like the game, viewership dwindled. No one really liked it. You can't interact in Fortnite like I do when I play PUBG because there's no dead time. There's almost no dead time at all in Fortnite. It's constant combat because the map is so small that you have to constantly be fighting for your life. You can't even just kind of relax for a little bit to talk with your stream viewers. All right. Plus, I hate crafting. I absolutely hate crafting. The stupid build a wall, build a staircase, build a tower, build this, I hate it. I don't think it should belong in a shooter game. I never like using it. I hate it. And when I play the game and I try to play it as a shooter, everyone yells at me. Oh, you're not playing it right. You didn't even build a giant fucking fortress in order to hide for the last 20 people. And it's like, well, then I don't want to play it because I don't like that. You know, when I play a shooter, I want to play a shooter. If I want to play Minecraft, I'll fucking play Minecraft. I don't need to play a hybrid of 2 game genres that already exist just to say, oh, I played a popular viral game. You know what I mean? I don't like that at all. All right. So, that being said, I really don't want to play Fortnite. I don't like the game. I've uninstalled it for my PS4 because I said it's just not the game for me, you know? It even has RNG elements in the shooting. It's just not a game catered towards someone who's serious about shooters. It's a game catered towards someone who wants to learn a gimmicky kind of kiddie game, you know, that's not to be taken seriously. That's kind of what Fortnite is. Which, I mean, let's be honest, that's probably why so many people play it. You know, it's free. So no one's going crazy about, oh no, I spent money and now this game sucks. Everyone's just playing it for free. So, I don't know, man. I just don't know. You know, I'm bored with Fortnite. I don't want to play it. And you got idiots who just keep demanding it every day, despite the fact that I've said this every day. Even though the game went virally popular in the last couple of weeks, I keep saying, no, I don't like the game. Stop trying to force me to play something I don't want to play. But every day I see it in the stream chat. Play Fortnite, play Fortnite, play Fortnite. Seriously, it's not about that. It's not about, let's just play what's popular for the sake of playing it. The reason I've continued to play PUBG is not because the game is popular. It's because the game has given me an opportunity to interact with my audience in a way that I don't have in other games. Those first 20 minutes of every match of PUBG, I get to interact with people. And it works. People love it. They love how it counts down. And if I make top 10, they're super suspenseful at it. And they love that, man. It's very, I've never once had all right, I take that back. There was once a tense match of Fortnite. It was at the end of a stream where people were so bored of me playing the game because they didn't like me playing it, they left. So literally there were only like 200 people left on the stream to see me win a match of Fortnite. Because no one cared. That's the point I keep making. You guys seriously need to stop with demanding me playing a terrible game that I don't like. You know? I'm sorry. The game is not very good. I don't like it. So why keep demanding to see me play it? I don't understand. Okay? I just don't get it. So, all that being said, I don't know. I don't know what to do, man. These next couple days, I'm going to have some time. You know, like I said, it seems like Burnout Paradise may be over today. I don't see how after 8 hours of doing the same kind of repetitive stuff, I don't know what else I could do for 2 days until we get to new releases on Tuesday, you know? And so people are complaining they're bored. There's nothing going on. You're right. I mean, what else do you want me to do? There's no new releases. There's nothing I can do. I played Burnout Paradise, the new release, after people demanded it, and now people are saying it's boring. It's like, I can't do much about this, folks. If I play an old game, it's boring because it's old. If I play a hot viral game, it's boring because I'm not a pro-level player at it. If I play multiplayer games, they're boring. If I play the new re-release, it's boring. Well, then what do you want? You know what I mean? I can't have a new AAA release every single day. That's the point I'm making. And it was cool, I'll be honest. It was really cool. I'd say the last couple of months of 2017, and hell, even in January of this year, if you guys remember, I was doing stuff like Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3, and I was doing some throwback playthroughs and mixed those in with like Dragon Ball Fighters. And everyone seemed to be coming to the streams and saying, well, Phil, you know, we're having a lot of fun no matter what you play. We like interacting with you. This is positive. This is fun. I say, I agree. Let's keep this going. Then all of a sudden in February, I think people's patience just ran out. I do. I just think people's patience ran out with waiting for new games. And it got to the point where people were like, well, now I really love hanging out with Phil, but, you know, he hasn't done anything new in so long. There's no real new games he's been playing, and now it's boring. And I understand that, but we have to kind of do something to hold out until Tuesday. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure what to do. I don't. Every time I put it in your hands, you guys, you know, there's a vote. For example, right now, people are voting. Tonight, do you want to see Call of Duty or do you want to see PUBG on my second stream? Okay? The voting has been going back and forth for the last 12 hours. More than actually, it's been about 14 hours now. And it's 50%. It's 50-50. So people can't even decide among the viewership. People can't decide, do you want to see one or the other? So even you guys are undecided. You see my point? Like, it doesn't seem like no matter what I do right now, until new games release on Tuesday, it seems like no matter what I do, I can't please the masses. There is no right or wrong choice here. There's no matter what I play, people will be angry. If I play Call of Duty, oh, he's played this too much recently, it's boring. If I play PUBG, oh, he's not great at this game, and it's a lot of gathering, and there's not enough going on, it's boring. If I play more Burnout Paradise, oh, there's no story to this game, it's just repetitive driving, it's boring. If I go to Fortnite, oh, he doesn't play this game properly, he's not a master crafter, and he doesn't do super jumping off of shit, and it's boring. So you see my point? Do you see my point? I mean, I hope you do, okay? So then you're like, well, what else could Phil play? I mean, the only other thing I could even think of remotely that I could maybe possibly play, and I know this is a long shot, would be attempting to play Ultra Street Fighter 2 again. Now, that would probably be a terrible idea for 2 reasons. Number one, because I've not played it in a million years, all right? I would have to, get my Switch all working again with the capture setup, probably update the console 4 times or whatever, all right? All these things. Number two, I guarantee you almost no one plays that game anymore. Almost nobody. And it sucks because that's the game I'm the best at competitively in Street Fighter. The core game, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. All right? That's the game that I'm the best at. But I almost guarantee you we will be sitting here and there will be no one to play. If you remember last year, during the summer months when the game was still relatively new, it had come out in late May. We're talking July. I was trying to do sessions of this game and I couldn't even find anyone to play. And then when I did, it was Akuma spammers and, no one who was good. I almost guarantee you there would be almost no one to play. So here I am trying to do a 4-hour stream of fighting games, and I'd probably get 10 matches in, It's just not a good situation. What am I going to do? I would love to play it, but there's just nothing going on right now. Right now, we're in a situation where, like, if people can be patient and just be like, all right, I understand. Phil doesn't have anything major to play. There's nothing really out right now. Let's just come and hang out with him on the streams. Let's not really care so much about what game he plays. Let's just come by and hang out with Phil today. Let's talk with him. Let's shoot the shit. You know what I mean? Let's just have a fun, casual stream that's not so serious. It doesn't have to be a serious, ongoing playthrough. Let's just relax and have some fun. And if the games are great, great. And if not, who cares? We're just here to hang out and chill and, and enjoy ourselves. I think things will go really well. And, you know, there's streamers who do very well with those kinds of streams. You know, they do. They absolutely do. Every day, doesn't even matter what they play. They're just casually playing some random crap. They're not constantly doing an ongoing playthrough. See what I mean? So that's what I mean. But I think people are so in this mentality that DSP, Darkside Phil, is the guy who plays every new release. He plays it start to finish, you know, on release day. And this is what he's done for 10 years. And God forbid he try to change or do something different, because this is not what we're looking for. And I think that's the problem. Like, for example, PUBG, all right? I openly admit PUBG is not a great game. In particular on Xbox One. Now, I don't know about PC. Again, I never played it on PC. On Xbox One, the game is subpar. The aiming is terrible. The frame rate's terrible. There's a lot of things that are just terrible in general about the freaking game. The game could be way better, all right? But the reason I play PUBG is because it gives me the opportunity to have fun, reactionary stuff with you guys. I could talk with you, have discussions with you as I'm running around and gathering resources, you know, driving around till the end of the match. And then at the end of a 25-minute match, we have a big suspenseful 10-minute ending, right? When you're getting down to the top 10 and things are getting really tense, it's pretty entertaining. But there are some people who are furious with me. I'm not even exaggerating. That I've played PUBG as much as I have since it came out in December. Phil, how dare you keep playing this boring game? You're supposed to be playing full playthroughs of every new release. And from start to finish, this is what you're known for. You should just keep doing it. How dare you leave something you've done for 10 years and do something completely different? And you know, that's the thing. I think people need to stop at that. And I'm just being real with you guys. I'm not angry or anything. I'm just saying, you know, things change. And certainly I'm not telling you guys that I want to become one of these streamers who never takes anything seriously, who starts a game and quits it within one session. You know what I mean? I'm not like that. I mean, if that were the case, I'll be honest, I wouldn't be playing Burnout Paradise today, because so many people complained yesterday it was boring. I wouldn't even be giving it a second shot today. I would have already dumped it. And I would have been moving back to something that's a staple that people like to see. Okay? Just being real with you. But I think people are so closed-minded and they're so resistant to change. You know what I mean? Like, right now, what we're having is a dichotomy. We've got people who have been around for a long time. They're used to one thing. And when I change my content to be something different, because there's times like now where there's really nothing going on in the release, in the realm of new release games, they lose it. And if you look on YouTube, it's true. My viewership on my YouTube channel is way down because nothing's been going. I've been playing downtime playthroughs, right? Throwback playthroughs I've already played before, you know. And then you've got, you know, multiplayer games like PUBG or Call of Duty. You know, I've got Call of Duty sets from 2-3 days ago that they don't even have 200 views on a video. I mean, that's ridiculous. There used to be a time when it didn't matter what I played, people would watch it and enjoy it. You know, and even if my worst match of Call of Duty is still pretty entertaining, in my opinion. But that's it. People don't, they're so in this mindset. Why is Phil still playing Call of Duty? He never would play a multiplayer game more than like a month in the past. He's changing, right? Why is he still playing PUBG? This game ain't so great. And he skipped Monster Hunter World, and he didn't play Kingdom Come, whatever the fuck it was called. And he played other games. Unacceptable. He needs to go back to do exactly what he did for 10 years straight. And you know what? I don't like that. I don't. I'm being real with you guys. I don't like that. You know, if I want to play games that I know I'm going to enjoy, then you should come out and check that out. And if not, don't complain. Just don't watch it. You know what I mean? Like, it sucks that there is a large group of viewers that I know are just in this one mindset that this is what you've always had. And if I try to change anything up or do something differently, it's a bad thing. And I'm not the only person that this has happened to. There's many YouTubers, many streamers this has happened to. I've actually just addressed it recently with Angry Joe, who wanted to do something completely different, tries to do other kinds of videos, and people hold it against him and say negative shit about it. You see what I mean? Like, so here we go. I go ahead and I'm going to have probably Sunday and Monday where I need to find something to fill the time and entertain you guys. But I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. If I keep playing Burnout, I'll get complaints it's boring and no one will show up. If I play PUBG or Call of Duty, I'll get complaints I played those too much. It's boring. If I play Ultra Street Fighter 2, I'll struggle to find matches. The matches I find will be laggy, and people will complain. I don't want to see that. It's boring. You see? But here's the thing. New releases come out. boom. Now all of a sudden everyone's excited again. We're going to engage. We're going to see what Phil's doing. And I get that, but not every day can be a giant high-profile AAA new release. So what we've got to do, we've got to work together. You as a viewer and me as a content creator to find a happy medium here. What are the things that I could go between or go back to the well, per se, to entertain you guys during time periods like we've just had, these 2 drought months, right? February and this first half of March, there's been nothing going on in the realm of big releases at all. It's been dead, right? Until we can finally get to a point like we've got this week with Sea of Thieves, with the South Park expansion, with Ni no Kuni 2, Far Cry 5, Batman, just 5 new games in the next 2 weeks. Until we can get to points like this, what do we do in between that's going to make people happy? I don't know. You know what I mean? And here's the other thing. So Psy Octopi just said, we'll revisit games that you left behind like Yakuza and Persona 5. Well, first of all, I didn't leave Persona 5 behind. I never wanted to stop playing it. That's a false statement. I had to leave it behind. Well, I had to stop playing it because Atlas gave me a copyright strike. All right? So that is not fair. Now, I already said I would love to go back to Persona 5, but I'm pretty much biding my time and waiting until that time when I know there's not going to be any other JRPGs or anything going on. I just finished up Secret of Mana, and I'm just starting Ni no Kuni 2, so I'm not going to be doing Persona 5 now. It would make no sense, okay? It would make no sense at all. Yakuza, yeah, that was a playthrough that really was released in a terrible time. It was right at the beginning of the hardcore gaming season, and by the time that I finally had time to maybe go back and play it, it was already 3 months later. I didn't really care. And I'll be real with you guys, I really don't care about Yakuza Kiwami. That game was released with horrible timing. And that's what these Yakuza guys are doing. They're just kind of, every twice a year now, they got a Yakuza game coming out. That's too much, you know? Give me one every year and a half. Not 2 in a year. That's just insane. Oh my God, excuse me. So, the bottom line is, there's really no answer here. You know, what is the answer? I don't think there is an answer to this. You know what I mean? I don't think there's an outright answer to, oh, this is what Phil should do when there's no new releases. I just wish that people wouldn't get so angry. Because I've been seeing anger recently. People saying, Phil, you know, it seems like people aren't coming to your streams as much anymore. Well, yeah, it's been true because look at what I've been playing. If I were playing other stuff, new releases, I'm sure, you know, people would start coming again. But what can I do? I can't have a new release every day, and we got to find a way to keep people engaged during these times when there's not a lot going on. You know what I mean? Just being real here. Especially now, I'm in a situation right now where next month, and this is not me lying or exaggerating like some people like to spin it, I got these crazy amount of taxes due. If I can't pay these taxes, I'm in a terrible position. And now there has to be this much downtime. You know what I mean? It sucks. Like this past month and a half should have been the time if there were tons of new releases like there were last year. Just to give you guys some perspective, do you remember all the shit we had? Resident Evil 7, right? We had games like Nier Automata, Horizon Zero Dawn, Zelda Breath of the Wild. All this had already come out. We were already playing all these amazing games last year, early 2017. It was a crazy good early game year last year. Imagine if that was this year, it would have been amazing. Instead, we got nothing. Literally, it's been dead. It's been dead. It's been annoying and dead, you know? And I don't know what to do about that. I want to keep you guys coming back. I want to keep you hooked. I want to keep you entertained, but I don't know what the answer is, you know? You know, I'm not the man with all the answers here. I'm really not, you know? So, all that being said, folks, today, it's Burnout Paradise Remastered right now on the stream. Here's what I'm asking you. If you guys are bored, then make it fun. Talk to me. Let's do interactive stuff, right? Let's actually have some fun together and treat this more as a casual, laid-back, just hanging out stream rather than a stream that's all about 100% riveting and entertaining, engaging gameplay. That's not what it's not always going to be like that, guys. That's the whole point of me live streaming, is that if it's not a riveting game, we could talk to each other and have fun. That's why PUBG has worked, okay? But I think so many people are in this mindset, well, this game isn't so good, it's boring, I'm leaving. Well, wait a minute. That's not the point of live streaming on Twitch. Like, I get it now. Totally. Listen, I get it now. I used to live stream, and it was just fan service for you guys, and I didn't understand what the point of it was. You know, now it's different. Now it's very different. Okay? It's to the point where, I totally get it. If you want to talk, you want to hang out, you just want to shoot the shit, turn this into an IRL stream where, yeah, I'm playing a game, but it's more about me interacting with you guys. Let's do it. Rather than just sitting here being bored at a repetitive game, or sometimes I look down at the stream chat. This has happened recently in the past couple of weeks. People are completely disengaged from the content. They're not talking about the game. They're not talking about me. They're talking about the random ass stuff that has nothing to do with anything. Someone brought up a random topic about world politics or soccer. Shit I don't know anything about. Why is this a discussion in my stream chat? How can I engage with that? I can't engage world politics because that's going to cause too much trouble. And I don't know anything about football or soccer. So obviously it's hard for me to engage when people are completely detaching themselves from what's going on in the stream. You see what I mean? So let's see what we can do. All right. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can together, all right, try to have fun at times when things are boring or not exactly the most engaging gameplay. We could still have a lot of fun together. I really do feel like we could. All right. The problem is people need to work with me on it and not just disengage from what's going on. Because that's when things fall apart, honestly, in my opinion. Like yesterday, Burnout Paradise started out good, and then about halfway through the stream, people realized it was the same repetitive stuff, and they disengaged. And when you disengage, then what can I do? I'm not going to turn the stream off. But at the same time, I can't really do much in the realm of entertaining you when you're not even paying attention. And I think sadly that's what happens in a lot of cases, I want to be better. I want to entertain you guys, and I want to make it about us interacting and having fun when we're bored with the games. But again, it's hard for me to do that when I don't know how to reach you, when you're completely turned off from what's going on, So let's see what happens. Let's try it today. Again, I'll play the game. If we're bored, let's talk. Let's do something different, right? If I got to drive across the whole fucking map or I'm doing a stupid, boring race, let's talk about stuff. Let's treat it like a PUBG stream. I think it'll work. I do. I honestly do. But that's the thing. We have to work. It's not something I can do by myself. I can't just literally talk, out of my own butt about nothing for 4 hours straight and engage you guys. It's got to be interactive. You see what I mean? All right, guys. So there you go. Now, here's the thing. Tonight, it's either going to be Call of Duty or PUBG. I don't know what. People are voting right now. I'll be real with you guys. I think I'm going to do PUBG. Reason being, people really liked that PUBG stream I did last night. It was a lot more interactive than I expected it to be. People were kind of refreshed to have PUBG back, I think. And as I've told you guys, at this point, starting Tuesday, I'm doing new releases pretty much for 2 to 3 weeks straight. So there won't be time for games like Call of Duty or PUBG. So I'm leaning strongly towards just doing PUBG tonight as my stream. And it should be pretty fun, I think, in that regard. So I think that's going to be tonight. Now, tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I might try Ultra Street Fighter 2 again. I might just do something random. I might do more Burnout. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do because it just sucks having 2 days where there's no real definitive answer. You know what I mean? I just don't know. I just don't know. We'll see. Let's play it by ear, but let's try to have a fun stream today and figure this out together, all right? Bottom line is, a lot of the times when I have a fun stream where people are interactive, we end up talking through stuff, and then we end up getting good ideas for the future anyway. So maybe we'll have a good brainstormed idea for what I should do Sunday and Monday. I guess we'll see. Okay. All right, guys. So, very quickly, thank you for your support. Thanks for everything. You guys know the ways you can support me. Number one, Patreon at patreon.com/darksidephil. Your pledges help me to keep doing this full time. Number two, there's my Teespring shop where you can buy cool shirts, merch, hoodies, all kinds of stuff, fan design logos. But if you're here live on the stream and you want to engage me, right? A good way to catch my attention, you want a shout out. would be to either cheer with bits, subscribe to the channel, or tip me. If you do any of those things, I will give you a shout out during the stream. As we've just been talking about, you know, a good way to get a conversation started and right? And that being said, if you do cheer 50 bits or more, subscribe to the channel and click the share button, or tip me $5 or more, you'll actually get an on-screen pop-up thank you animation as well. So it's kind of a way to get both visual and verbal recognition. All right. Two things. Number one, we are in the midst of a subscriptions drive. I'm trying to get my subs up for the month of March after seeing a pretty big dip in the month of February. All right. So that being said, we're at, I think, 439. We're close. We're only about 60 subs away. We could do this, especially with the new games coming out in the next couple of weeks. There's definitely things we can do, all right, in order to hit the subs goal. But we got to get people engaged. We got to get people excited about the streams again. That's the thing. It all goes hand in hand with what I've been talking about. Being completely disengaged and stuff, you know, it's not going to convince people to get excited about the streams. But, you know, if we can maybe make this something different, something fun, interactive, I think we can turn this around. You know, there's definitely a possibility we can hit the subs goal by the end of the month. There is, all right? So let's push towards it. Number two, as you guys know, and I'm not going to go into massive detail about it today, but I'm in a bad situation financially with my taxes. It's not my fault. There was a tax attorney who screwed me over and didn't do his job for 3.5 years, but took my money anyway. Now I'm thousands of dollars behind in taxes, and it's affecting both my state and federal taxes, and a bunch of payments are due in April. I don't have the money to pay them all right? Real talk. So if you guys want to help me out with that situation and allow me to keep doing this full time, put out free, fun content for you on a daily basis, cover all the new releases coming up, and keep my house, which is probably the most important part of all of that, because if I can't keep my house, I can't do any of those things. You could either pledge to my Patreon, as I've already mentioned. You could buy something from my Teespring shop, or you could tip me during the stream. How do you tip? Well, if you look below the stream right now, there's a grid of information, including links to my website, links to you know, my social media and the like. There's also a link to a tips section. If you click on that, it takes you to the tips page where you can either do an anonymous tip, or you can leave your name in a message. Or if you're on a mobile device and you can't see any of that grid of information, if you type !tip into the stream chat, it will bring up the tips link. If you click on that, it'll take you to the tips page as well. Why tipping? It's very simple. Anything you guys tip me, anything you tip me, all right, will allow me to get that right away. Any funds you tip me, it goes right, boom, into my, you know, usable income, and I'll be able to use it towards my taxes next month. So thank you to everyone who has contributed via Patreon or bought something from Teespring or tipped me recently. This is going to be going on until basically, you know, the end of April for me to try to get through this situation. And thank you guys. All right. Now, time for shout-outs. Let's do some shout-outs for those who have cheered, subbed, and tipped already. All right, scrolling all the way down. We had Infinite, who did 100-bit cheer overnight. Critical for Days cheered and said, sorry if I said this, but looks like you may not be having as much fun playing games this year. Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, here's the thing, Critical for Days. Here's the thing. Last year, 2017, was a year of overabundant amount of new releases that people wanted to see me cover. Plus, combine that with the fact that with the live streaming changes that I did, okay, and the interactivity that I had on streams that I never had before, it felt like it was fresh, it was new, and there was more than enough to do when it came to live streaming. There was always more than enough for me to play or cover. 2018 has kind of been the opposite. It's been like a very meager, measly, slim pickings when it comes to games. I mean, really, name 2 high-profile games that have come out since the beginning of the year. Monster Hunter World and Dragon Ball FighterZ. That's it. We're already in mid-March. You know what I mean? Like 2.5 months into the year, almost a full quarter into the year, 2 games have come out. And one of them was unplayable online at a competitive level, so I stopped playing it. And the other one I had no interest in. So, you know, what are you going to do? As I just said, at this time last year, you had Resident Evil 7, Horizon Zero Dawn, Zelda, Nier. You already had 4, 5, 6 major high-profile games that had been out. So it was like so much to do versus this year it's slim pickings, you know? And again, I try to do streams to entertain you guys that are downtime streams, and people complain. It's boring. So, you know what I mean? That's kind of the situation this year. It's not that I'm not enjoying coming to stream. I am. I come to stream, I have a ton of fun playing Call of Duty now. I do. I have a ton of fun. I have a ton of fun playing PUBG and interacting with people, you know? I had a ton of fun playing the old game, the throwback games, like Heavy Rain, or Bully, or Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I had a ton of time playing those games. A ton of fun, excuse me, playing those games. But the viewership wasn't there. Oh, these are old games. This is boring. See what I mean? So it's not me. It's the viewership. People are now bored because there's been such a lack of new releases. And I get that. But again, the point I'm trying to make is that I can still make stuff entertaining if people are willing to interact with me and work with me. But I can't. If people completely disengage and just say, this game, another boring game Phil's playing, oh well, then there's nothing I can do about it. Okay. And then Critical for Days cheered again. He says, I'm not trying to hate. No, I didn't think you were trying to hate, dude. I didn't think you were trying to hate at all. I'm saying, this is what I've been seeing for the past month and a half. This progression of, there's nothing new. It's a boring atmosphere. You know, it's not that I'm not trying. I am. I'm trying to interact with you guys. And a lot of times it just doesn't work because people are so disengaged. So I know it could work. We just got to actively try. You know what I mean? Why is Phil playing this boring game? Well, maybe because it's not about the game. It's about us just having fun on stream and hanging out and turning it more into a hangout than just a great game. Not every game is going to be a winner, you know? All right, shout out to Sergeant Woomy, who cheered and asks the following. Phil, are your parents proud or disappointed on what you're doing for a living? My biological dad is still mad at me that I didn't become something better than being in car or motorsports circle. Well, let me put it this way. When I was growing up, all right, my parents, of course, like every aspiring parent, they wanted the best for me. We want Phil to be a doctor. We want Phil to be, you know, something that was like huge and, you know, made a ton of money. You know, one of these professions that's unrealistic. Because for me to be a doctor, I would have had to be rich. You know, none of that stuff was ever going to happen. Then they wanted me to get into computer science, because computer science was huge at the time. Of course, my parents always had aspirations for me to have a professional practice of something, or, you know, everyone has that. But my parents never had that. My dad, you know, used to work for a shipping company, and then he worked for a helicopter company for most of his life. My mom used to be a hairdresser, and then pretty much became a homemaker for the rest of her life. So it's not like they ever had some kind of professional careers that they were looking for me to follow in their footsteps or anything like that. So finally, when I got this office job at this helicopter company that my dad was already working at, it was kind of like, oh, pat on the back. My son is working with me at this company. You know what I mean? And it was good because, you know, at the time, the company was doing great. The company was like burgeoning with business. And it was a big boom for the helicopter industry at that time when I started working for them about 12 years ago. And then, sadly, we had the banks crash. And when the banks crashed in the United States, there was no more capital to go around anywhere. And people who usually had money to spend on a frivolous thing like a helicopter didn't have it anymore. And so the entire division crashed, and they ended up doing layoffs or whatever. So really, I got laid off, and luckily I had YouTube as a backup hobby. It was something to fall back on, because if I didn't have it, I would have had no job at all. Okay? So, you know, yeah, admittedly, starting to do video games for a living, you know, and doing YouTube videos for a living, I know for a fact my dad and mom were like, oh God, you know, how's this going to work? But once they started to see how much money I was starting to make, right? Because keep in mind, when I first started doing this full time around 2011, I was virally popular on YouTube. I was the ultimate underdog. I was the guy who for 2 years had played every major game on YouTube. I never made a penny doing it. It was just a hobby. And now that I lost this office job and YouTube had bullied me around with false copyright strikes and all this shit, people had my back. They were like, man, here he is. He really is the ultimate underdog. Let's make this guy who's just a regular guy who plays games and has funny commentary. Let's make this guy, you know, big. And they did, man. You know, every playthrough that I played, people would watch virally. You know, we're talking anywhere from 50,000 to 100,000 views on part 1 of any playthrough that I play for a good year. That was pretty nuts, man. And like I said, that 1 year, that first year that I did it on YouTube, I made a ridiculous amount of money. And then my parents were like, oh, shit. You know, once the bottom line is, and this is the truth, a lot of parents don't care about what their kids do. Some don't. Some is just about, can they provide? Are they doing something where they're making money and they can, you know, is it something to pay the bills where they can reliably have income? And that's all they really care about. And, you know, I don't think my parents really cared that I was making videos for the internet, as long as it was something that was able to be, you know, a supportive thing. I could pay my mortgage. I could pay my bills. I wasn't going into crazy financial debt doing something that was silly or stupid, you know. So yeah, I think that really, ultimately, my parents they never really understood what I did. I don't think they ever watched a gameplay video of mine or anything like that. They don't like video games, so if they were to watch that stuff, they wouldn't even know what's going on. Being quite honest with you guys. But I think now they obviously respect it a lot more, especially now I've been doing this for 10 years. You know, I've been doing it for a living for 8. I think they understand that it is a lot more serious. And let's be honest, it's actually been more stable with all its ups and downs and all the issues I've had with YouTube ad revenue plummeting and me having to go from different streaming services and false copyright strikes. Still, when you think about it, I've done this for 8 years. I only had my office job for 5 before they laid me off. So this has actually been more stable and consistent than the office job. As stupid as that sounds, it's actually true. I never even put that into perspective until right now. When I started thinking about, gee, how long have I been doing this? I just realized I've been doing this for a living since 2011. So I've been doing this longer for a living than I did any other job in my life. This is the longest I've ever done something for a job. Wow. That is quite remarkable. Quite remarkable. Alrighty then. Anyway, Critical for Days cheered again. He says, you know, I see that you work hard every day to make us have fun. Unlike people like PewDiePie. Now, here we go. Now, keep in mind, he's going to hate on PewDiePie. I'm not necessarily doing that. This is a viewer's comment, but I'm going to read it because he did cheer. He says, unlike PewDiePie, who just makes his fans post memes on Reddit for him to react to. And then the best part is he doesn't even edit his vids anymore. He pays for a guy to edit. What a hard worker he is. Listen. There's some people who, through very hard work, succeed. And there are some people who just get lucky. Me, I'm a combination of both. I will openly admit, and I've said this since day one, I was in the right place at the right time. When I started posting videos on YouTube, there was no one doing commentary like I was doing. Or if they were, they weren't popular. I came out of nowhere. It's so funny because some people say, well, Phil's not the originator of the Let's Play. There's these particular people who did it. And then people were like, yeah, but they weren't popular. Phil was. Phil was the guy who came out of nowhere, started posting videos on YouTube, with this honest, reactionary, funny, irreverent commentary, and people loved that style. And he got virally popular on his own. It wasn't like he was collaborating. It wasn't like he was getting promotion, and he certainly wasn't jumping on a bandwagon. I never even called my videos Let's Plays. My videos have always been called playthroughs. I always defined myself differently from the other pack of people who were known for doing these kind of videos on the internet, okay? But there was definitely a luck element to it, because it was all about the timing. If I had done it a little bit later, chances are I wouldn't have been nearly as popular. All right, nearly as popular as I turned out being, right? It was luck. It was a lot of luck. Plus, the situation of I did it, like I said, I did it for 2 years as a hobby. Then I lost my office job, plus had false copyright strikes in the first year. So people were feeling kind of bad, and I became the ultimate underdog of YouTube. That's really where I got my explosion of popularity from, most admittedly. But then I worked my ass off. Once I became popular, I literally worked my ass off. I played every single new release, and I have over 50,000 gameplay videos on YouTube. Name another fucking YouTuber who's done that much work, who's been that prolific, because it ain't PewDiePie, let me tell you. It ain't. What these YouTubers do is they become popular, then immediately they conform to the norms of what YouTube wants. Put out limited content, edit your videos, script garbage, edit out the stuff that's downtime, and make it a best of montage, overact for the camera, and all this shit, And I never done that. I've always been myself. I've been true to myself. I've been real. And that's where I really feel why I'm still here. There's a lot of people who've come and gone, right? There's people who were inspired by me, became Let's Players on YouTube, and are gone. But here I am 10 years and I'm still here. So it has been a lot of hard work. Now, I'm not going to talk shit about PewDiePie. All right? I'm not. I don't know what the guy personally does and doesn't do. I'm just going off of what someone just cheered in the stream chat. All right? But the bottom line is, I work my butt off. I do. Every day I'm here on stream at least 6 hours of talking, if not more. Plus there's the pre-stream, plus there's the setup, plus there's the uploading of videos, and all the shit I got to do behind the scenes. I put in a solid 8 to 10 hour workday every day that I'm here. All right? I'm pretty sure a lot of other YouTubers don't do that. I'm sorry to say. When you've got people posting stuff up on Reddit for you to review and do reactionary videos on, when you're just following popular trends because you don't have any original content of your own and you can't stand on your own two legs to entertain a viewing audience, you have to copy everybody else. That's what I mean. Right now, I could drop everything and say, fuck it. Fortnite's virally popular. We're playing Fortnite nonstop for the next week. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. I'm not going to do that, dude. Sadly, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to be my own person. I'm going to work my butt off. And that's how I've always succeeded. So, there you go. Shout out to Critical for Days. Again, geez, he cheated a lot this morning. He says, are you going to finish Secret of Mana? If you won't, I can understand. There's nothing to finish. If you've watched my playthrough of Secret of Mana, you've seen the entire game. The only thing you didn't see is the 3-minute cutscene at the end of the game. And then the credits. That's all you've missed. You've seen the final boss fight. The entirety of the final boss fight, I recorded. The problem is the game has this error. Well, not really an error. Basically a design flaw. Where it auto-saves before the final boss. And if you don't have MP, you can't beat it. And it auto-saves. I don't have MP. I can't beat it. Unless I replay the whole final dungeon, which I'm not doing. So, no, I'm not wasting 2.5 hours of myself and my viewers' time to see a 3-minute cutscene. If you want to see the cutscene, go watch it somewhere else. You've seen the entirety of the game if you watch my playthrough, period. All right. Infinite did a 100-bit cheer. He said, Derek says, Happy St. Patrick's Day. They call me Jim Bob and Seamus, one half of the bar alongside Cesaro. Derek's wondering, have you played any iOS mobile games lately? Didn't you play Injustice 2? I played WWE Mayhem and Fortnite Mobile. It's beta. It's garbage. The game drops frames. It's below 30 frames. The only games that I play on mobile are Marvel Future Fight, which is a game that's very similar to a game that I played before, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. You have a team of 3 heroes who go around fighting generic enemies as well as bosses. There's multiple level challenges and fun stuff in the game. There's hundreds of characters. I really like it. They even have tie-ins to all the new Marvel movies. They get all the new characters and skins for the different movies and stuff. It's pretty neat. And I still, every once in a while, I play WWE. I don't remember what it's called. These Champions. It's basically a Candy Crush ripoff with WWE characters in it. It's pretty much a time waster, and the game's completely unfair. But I still play it from time to time. I get a little, addicted to it. But that's it. I've dumped all my other games. I used to play 3 other games. I don't play them at all anymore. Too much of a time sink and too much of expectations of you spending money in order to progress in them. So fuck those. All right. Mr. Swaggins cheered and says, spice things up. When you play Call of Duty, mix it up. Do prop hunt, gun game in the chamber. It's one in the chamber, etc. That's not, dude, Mr. Swaggins, that's not going to do anything. People are not bored with me playing Call of Duty because I'm only playing 1 or 2 game modes. They're bored with Call of Duty because they say, Call of Duty's an old game. That game came out in November. Why is Phil still playing that old game? That's what it is. If you actually watch the Call of Duty gameplay, it's been great. I'm doing amazing. I'm whooping ass. I'm at the top of the leaderboards. I'm doing amazing kill streaks. The other day, I think I did 3 melee kills in a row. Who the fuck ever does that? It's not the gameplay that's boring. It's not that, it's that people just have this bias against, if a game ain't new, it's boring and old, because that's kind of been my formula for 10 years. Is Phil plays every new game, and if Phil's not playing a new game, then it's boring. So if I'm playing a game that's hasn't been released in the past 2 weeks, it's boring. See what I mean? That's the problem. It's not, switch up and play other game modes that aren't valid modes that are just there for, killing time or anything. It's that people just don't want to watch an old game because they have this trained in their head mentality that if it's not a new game, it's boring. Shout out to Haseo. who did 100-bit cheer. He says, not sure if you addressed this, but what are your thoughts regarding PS Plus changes coming next year? All games will be PS4 games rather than mixed PS4, PS3, and Vita. I wasn't even aware, quite frankly, that they were still providing free PS3 and PS Vita games. I had no idea. Because I never play my PS Vita. I mean, that thing is now in my, my bedside nightstand, and it's been there for the greater part of almost a year, collecting dust, and I never boot the thing, because there's no point. In regards to my PS3, as you guys know, every once in a while I'll go back to it to play like a throwback playthrough, especially if it's like a PS1 or 2 game available on PSN. But I don't actively have that thing hooked up and I'm not using it. So I haven't even known that they were still giving away PS3 games or PS Vita games at all. Now, what I'll say is this. If you're someone that somehow in 2018 still has not joined the modern console generation and you don't own a PS4 or an Xbox One yet, I mean, what are you waiting for? The prices have dropped dramatically. You can get an Xbox One for $200. You get a PS4 for about $250. There's no excuse at this point. It's not like, oh, it's so expensive because it's the early console generation and the consoles cost $400 to $500. No, that's not the case anymore. If you're a console gamer, all right, and you don't own the modern consoles, and that's your excuse, oh, I'm angry because if I keep getting PS Plus, I don't get free games on my PS3 anymore. I mean, you can only be so far behind and still expect to get things that make sense, that are current. PS3 and Vita are not current. They are last gen, they are outdated, and they are very much dinosaurs that are relics at this point, I mean, let's face it, what else are they even going to give away for free? They're not making active new stuff for those consoles anymore. You see what I mean? So, there you go. I don't think it's a problem at all. I honestly, when I'm subscribed to PS Plus or I subscribe to Xbox Live Gold, I'm not doing it to get free games regardless. I'm doing it just to do the online functionality. I've been paying for Xbox Live for 15 years. It was never free. It was always a paid service. So for me, I'm used to it. I think what it is that here's people who weren't used to paying. They had to start paying with PS4, but then their justification for paying was that they were getting free games, and now I'm getting less free games. Rubble, right? Folks, it's 2018. You either have to own a PS4 or an Xbox One to be in the current console gen. Nintendo is its own entity, as they like to say. They're not competition. So if you own a Switch, good for you, but you're not even in the same discussion. It's that simple. If you don't own a PS4 and Xbox One yet, and you're angry because if you have PS Plus or Xbox Live and you're not going to get free games for your old console, it's time to wake up and smell the coffee. You are not the target base for game development anymore, and you can't expect that you're going to be catered to. It's that simple. Okay? There you go. All right. Critical for Days cheered again and said, it's funny because people right now are sending me negative shit saying that Phil is the king of shitters. I'm tired of getting harassed, but I will report them. Yeah, again, I guess it's a good time to bring this up, folks. Obviously, apologies if you guys are chatters, stream chatters, or if you cheer, sub, or tip, and people see that and you get harassed. First of all, it's against Twitch terms of service for people to harass you at all. So if you ever get any harassing messages, be sure to report those people and then block them so that they'll get banned from Twitch. That's number one. Number two, it's just going to happen. There's nothing I can do about it. There's a group of people with no lives who just hover around my channel here on Twitch and just wait to try to strike and be annoying. They literally have nothing else to do with their lives. They have nothing positive going on. This is their life. The entirety of their life is to sit here and harass you guys. Isn't that great? What nice people, right? But giving them attention is exactly what they want. So just report them, block them, move on, and enjoy the stream. Okay? Aussie Sly 47 Adam did a 500-bit cheer. And yes, Aussie, you are indeed now the cheerleader for today's stream. So I thank you very much, Aussie, for that contribution. Thank you. Aston Martin. Boy, did I read that wrong. Excuse me. The Aston Martin cheered and said, keep Call of Duty and PUBG in rotation. Get Ultra Street Fighter 2 or another fighting game into the mix. Do you guys really want to see me try to play Ultra Street Fighter 2 tomorrow? If you guys really want to see it, I'll try. I don't think it's going to go well. I think it's going to be a train wreck. I really do. I think we're going to try to play. I'm going to find so few people to play. And the few people that I do play are just going to be Akuma spammers and shit. I get the feeling it's going to be one of the worst sessions I've ever done. But if you guys really want to see that tomorrow, I'll do it. I'll do it. I mean, it'll be a good warm-up. It'll certainly be a good warm-up for the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection. Okay? Alright, now guys, again, play Street Fighter 5. I've only said 4 million times I'm never playing it. You're just basically stroking your own e-dicks when you say stuff like that in the stream chat. I'm never playing Street Fighter 5. Stop. I never even brought it into the equation as a possibility. Stop it. No, I'm not playing it. I will never play it. Stop. There's always like 5 people in the street. Play Street Fighter 5. I'm not playing Street Fighter 5. I've said it 4 zillion fucking times. I don't know. Here, do I have to get a tattoo across my forehead that says, no, I'm not playing Street Fighter 5? Is that what I need to do? I will. I'll tattoo it across my face. So every day, whenever someone says play Street Fighter 5, I'll just turn the webcam on. You'll have your answer. There you go. Good Lord. Alright, shout out to Tantamounter, who did a 100-bit cheer. Thank you, Tantamounter, for the cheer. Naffy Axe did a 25-bit cheer and says, replay Lords of the Fallen. They fixed all the bugs. Oh my god. Dude, no one cares about that game. Lords of the Fallen was a game that when it released, everyone was hyped because if you remember, it was right before all the hype was coming with the new slew of From Software games. So everyone was craving a new From Software game. And then all of a sudden, Lords of the Fallen conveniently releases. And it was a broken piece of shit. It was terrible, dude. And I remember just the video I made showing the ridiculous bugs in it, right? How bad a game it was. Then apparently they fixed it. But you know what? It's too little too late. It's like I said, first impressions can only be made once. And I don't care if you took 2 months to fix your game and it became the best game ever made. It was garbage at launch, and I'm not going back. So fuck that shit. Haseo X4 cheered and said, did people somehow forget that you've played so many games in the last 10 years that they can watch any of those playthroughs if they don't like what you're currently streaming? Well, here's the thing, Haseo, and there's another important thing. I guess you're right, and I should bring it up, right? People seem to think that, number one, they need to watch absolutely everything. And if I put out more content that they can watch, that they'll be flooded and that, you know, it's like, oh, I'm backed up on my favorite television show. Even though that's not the case. Like, for example, if your favorite show is Better Call Saul, which I've been watching recently. Oh no, Better Call Saul just dropped an entire season on Netflix. There's no way I'll catch up with it. So now I'm so inundated with too many episodes that I'm all frustrated and I'm not going to watch it. That's how people used to act on my YouTube. Like, I would upload 30 videos of a new game. Phil plays too much in one day. There's no way I can watch all this. Therefore, I'm not going to watch it. It's like, what? That's ridiculous. Now, the flip side of that is exactly what Haseo is saying. I've been playing new video games for 10 years. I have over 50... At this point, I think someone did the math and said I actually have over 60,000 videos on YouTube. Over 60,000 gameplay videos. I'm pretty sure that out of all the games I played in the last 10 years... There's one game that if you're not interested in what I'm streaming on stream, you could go watch and you're going to enjoy it, all right? The problem is, much like we've talked about here over the past couple of weeks, things get popular because they're new and hype. So whatever Phil's playing new on the stream, that's the hype new thing. That's what I want to be a part of. Yeah, sure, he's got a 10-year legacy on the internet, but that's the past. I want to be part of the present and the future, right? So for a lot of people... They don't even care about what's been recorded or archived on YouTube. They just want to watch what's live on stream right now. And if that's not entertaining to them, well, then they're turned off. They're going to go do something else. All right? So I kind of get that, although I disagree. Because I do think that with the fact that I have been around for so long, it's absolutely possible that no matter what, you can find something that will entertain you that I've done. So I think Haseo is correct in what he or she is saying. But I think that there is this mentality of if you're not watching what's live on stream now, you're behind on the times and it doesn't matter. And I don't think that's a correct mentality, but I do think that that is a mentality that many people have. So, there you go. And you know, Tower Cat just said something funny. He said, 60,000 videos on YouTube and you're still broke. Yeah, you're right. You want to know why, Tower Cat? Because YouTube fucked me. YouTube changed their business so many times over the years. They changed the search algorithms to push my videos out of the search so no one can find them. They changed the way they divvy out ads to make it so that if your videos don't have a certain percentage of viewer engagement, you don't get an ad on your video. Chances are that most of you right now, if you went to watch one of my old playthroughs, like let's say, for example, right now, I'm playing Burnout Paradise, and you say, man, Burnout Paradise, that's a throwback. I want to go see one of Phil's old playthroughs. How about Need for Speed The Run, right? Chances are if you went and found Need for Speed The Run and watched it, there'd be no ads. Because that's how YouTube operates. If a video doesn't have a certain percentage of viewer engagement within the first or the last couple of months, those videos no longer get ads anymore. So even though I've got a catalog of 60,000 fucking videos on YouTube, 99% of them don't make me any money. Why do you guys think I have to constantly be uploading videos to YouTube? Because it's the new stuff that gets the ads. The old stuff, the ads don't even play anymore. You know? They've completely screwed me. It really is. It's ridiculous. The way that when I started on YouTube, it was one business model. And I catered the way I was doing things to that model, and it worked. And then over the years, YouTube just kept changing the rules and moving the goalpost and changing the rules. Because they kept changing what they wanted their own business to be. And that's what really screwed me over. It's not that I didn't work hard. I didn't put out entertaining videos. They kept changing their fucking site and business without publicly disclosing the information half the time of what they were changing. And there's nothing I could do about it. All right, shout out to Fluttershy. Fluttershy, 1970, cheered and said, Phil, ever thought about doing song requests for PUBGs to make those streams even more popular? Well, Fluttershy, if you're not aware, when you play songs during streams, it's allowed during the live stream, but then either the stream archive on Twitch or the videos on YouTube would get blocked or muted. So I can't do it. That's why I can't do it. There you go. Shout out to the Broken Legs, 218, who cheers. Says, I think you should go back to what made the stream better in 2017. Something has obviously changed to make viewers less interested. Maybe it's all the problems you've been through. No, I don't think so. Because the bottom line, the bottom line is once I start with gameplay, it's exactly the same streams. It's not like, oh, Phil's constantly every 10 minutes bringing up taxes and shit. No, I mentioned it once on the pre-stream and that's it. I think what's changed, again, last year we were inundated with a ridiculous amount of new games. Most of the time, I was playing hot new games, right? The few times I wasn't, it was things like, for example, Ultra Street Fighter 2, where I would get salty about online play sucking or whatever. So you had a unique mix of either hot new games constantly, or when I wasn't playing one, something that would attract attention of someone who wanted to see me rage or whatever. The last 2 months have been boring as dirt. There's been no real new games, so I've just been doing old, traditional, anniversary style playthroughs of games I've already played. Combined with things like Call of Duty, right? And you get this mentality, well, there's nothing new, and he's not salty, so therefore, this isn't entertaining. So there you go. Eternal Napalm just cheered 150 bits and says, along with Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, Devil May Cry HD would be a very fun and engaging downtime game. I already played it. I already played Devil May Cry 1 and 3 HD and 4. 1, 3, and 4 back when Devil May Cry was re-released in an HD collection back in the day. I already played them. So there you go. Random Ron just did a 100-bit cheer. He says, I've been watching you since Assassin's Creed Brotherhood multiplayer. Still enjoying your content because of the honest reactions and not cutting out anything from your playthroughs. Well, thank you, Random Ron. I do know for a fact that there is a large group of people who follow me because I did not kowtow, or kowtow, as they say, to the popular YouTube trends. I did not edit out the fails. I did not edit out the dead time. I did not script in comedy and do stupid scripted garbage and after effects on my fucking videos with fancy titles popping up and shit. It's just me playing a game. It's the real me playing a game when you watch one of my videos. And a lot of people have followed me for quite a long time because of that. And I do appreciate your support, Random Ron. Thank you. Sergeant Woomy Cheer. And it asks, do you think squids, octopi, fish, bathroom sponges, a used tire, and Vegeta would get along? Yes. AES 0411 cheered. Says, I don't think that your views are low on Call of Duty because it's an old game. Otherwise, PUBG and Fortnite wouldn't be top games for viewership on Twitch. Both games, PC version for PUBG, are older than Call of Duty. Yes, but AES, you just said something completely different. You said Twitch. Twitch in itself is a different entity than YouTube. All right? Twitch, people are watching those games on Twitch very simply because there's fun interaction, because there's a live stream chat. When you watch a stream on Twitch that has a lot of viewership, you feel like you're a part of something organic and exciting, right? Much like, again, things that are popular because they're popular. If you join a live stream that has a ton of viewers, you feel, wow, oh my God, this is amazing, right? No one is saying PUBG is like this insane views draw on YouTube. It's not. I mean, yes, there's a few pro PUBG players that whatever they put out, they get views on because their viewership from Twitch spills over to YouTube or whatever. But it's not like, oh my God, you know, PUBG and Fortnite are the ginormous games that are destroying YouTube gaming. That's not the truth of the matter at all. You're talking two completely different kind of viewer bases. The YouTube viewer base, all right, wants to constantly see the new releases, narrative-based games, things that are going to form a good offline style continuous playthrough. The Twitch viewer base wants to see something that makes a fun, interactive, organic stream event. It's completely different. It really is. And for me, it's been trying to find a balance between those two. How do I make a fun, interactive stream while I'm balancing the fact that I'm making an offline playthrough for YouTube as well? It's a big challenge. It is. It's a huge challenge. So we'll see. Moving forward, it's for me, I've got to balance this. But the point you're making is like apples to oranges. You can't say, oh, views are good here but not here, and there's no correlation. You just said YouTube and Twitch, they're completely different entities. Sometimes I do a stream on Twitch that gets tons of views. In particular, I'll tell you, fighting games. When I stream fighting games on Twitch, I get ridiculous amounts of viewership. But then when I upload those videos to YouTube, they get almost no views. This is what happened with all the Dragon Ball streams recently. My viewers on the stream was also always great, but then when I uploaded the videos to YouTube, almost no one watched them. That's kind of the same deal. Again, you know, being a part of the live interactive stream versus a part of watching the video on demand are two different things, I think. Okay? Eternal Napalm just did a 50-bit cheer, and he said, trolls always message me with hate when I cheer, therefore enjoy 50 more bits. Well, thank you, Eternal Napalm. Good to see the trolls' actions completely backfiring. Shout out to Broken Legs again. He says, could you see yourself playing World of Warcraft Classic when it launches? I don't know what expansions you play, but Classic is by far the best game ever made. I can't. I tried to play World of Warcraft 2 years ago as a special event. It failed miserably because there are 0 troll protections in World of Warcraft. Meaning if I were to live stream it, everyone would immediately find out my name and come troll me on that server. That's exactly what happened 2 years ago. And there's nothing I could do to stop people from trolling. I mean, it was to the point where they were killing all the low-level animals that I needed in order to do the initial quests in an area. So I couldn't even complete the initial quest to progress the game because these people were trolling me. And then what I had to do, I had to stop streaming. I had to turn the stream off and play the game offline to finally make some videos that I eventually uploaded. But it's a game that is not very stream friendly. Let's put it that way. So there you go. Shout out to Fred Flintstone, who cheered and said, hey, Phil, play Street Fighter V. Kappa. Har, 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 har. Very funny, Fred. Shout out to AES, who cheered again. All right. He says, my apologies. I wasn't sure if you referred to YouTube or Twitch. And a different note, I think if you don't reach the sub goal this month, you should go back to Patreon goals. That may be just me. Well, here, yeah. Now, here's another important fact. I should bring this up. I know this pre-stream is ridiculously long at this point. A lot of people have been saying some pretty interesting things in these comments, which is why I've been going long, all right? So here's what happened, folks. So the past 2 years, 2015, 2016, actually it's 3 years, because 2017 as well, I had goals set up that every month, if I hit a certain level of Patreon support, all right, we would do special events. things like an indie game marathon, a Sonic the Hedgehog games marathon, Patrons Choice playthrough where the patrons would nominate and vote on games. Those special kind of events. Halloween. We had a Halloween marathon, Christmas marathon. All these things were based off of patron pledges. But then last year, I adopted a more stream-based focus, okay? And based off of streaming, people basically said, Phil, if really what you're trying to do is grow your streams, not Patreon. And what I saw is that a lot of people were contributing via things such as tips, subs, etc. on Patreon and on Twitch. And so my patron pledges were dipping. By the end of 2017, I noticed a significant decline in my patron pledges. So I said, all right, based on your feedback, what you guys are telling me is that you want me to focus on the streaming. So instead of having things, special events based on patron pledges, let's base it off of, goals that we set on Twitch. Let's do sub goals. So if I hit a certain level of subs here, we do a celebratory event. If we hit this level, we'll do an event. And I did this in January for the first time ever, okay? And it was very successful. It was incredibly successful. Where I exceeded my goal 3 times. I had a low-level goal, boom, hit it immediately. So I did a mid-level goal, boom, hit it almost immediately. Had a high-level goal, boom, hit that. And then I was like, man, I've had so many goals that I've hit in January, I don't even know what the next goal should be. I never even really thought of a final goal for the month because I'd done so many. But then what ended up happening was in February, my subs plummeted. And there's 2 reasons for this. Number one, because subscriptions for a lot of people were half price or discounted in the month of January. So I get the feeling a lot of people, subscribed and or gifted subs at a time when they were at, cheaper. Number 2, in the month of February, all right, the people who had those subs gifted to them did not resub simply because there was nothing going on. Think about the month of February. I played UFC 3, Shadow of the Colossus Remastered, right? Then I had my week away because Kat moved in. Then I played Secret of Mana. I continued on with games like PUBG. I started playing Call of Duty again. And then I started doing throwback playthroughs like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. See what I mean? So it was all downtime stuff. It wasn't like, oh, there's hot new stuff to come see Phil play. And so even those who may have wanted to sub said, I'll hold off. So there you go. It was a unique combination of factors going on. So what ended up happening was, January we hit all these goals, right? So I did all these celebratory events. I had 2 different DSP Tries It videos. I had a special Indies marathon and everything that happened. And then in February, we hit no goals because the subs plummeted. Now, in March, at the very least, we've been maintaining around roughly 430 subscribers. So that's good. What I'm seeing here is what we've finally seen is the plateau that we've reached is roughly around 430, at least for now. Keep in mind, for a month and a half, again, there's been no new releases, no new viewers really coming in. So maybe we'll start to see a natural organic growth again once new releases start coming and new people start coming to watch the streams again. But it's been very stagnant, right? Now we know, okay, here's what eventually what we're going to reach is going to be roughly, all right, roughly that we can reach around 425 to 430 subs organically every month. So maybe next month, instead of 500 subs as the goal, I'll do 450, right? That's very reasonable. And then the stretch goal would be 500. See what I mean? But this is a whole new process for me. You got to understand and hopefully be patient with me because I'm learning. I'm trying to learn naturally, all right? Naturally. That, how to do this. I've never done anything based off of sub goals before or whatever. But honestly, AES, I don't think doing patron goals again is going to work. Already, I can tell you, since last year, ended, I lost about $300 or more of patron support every month. So just to get back to where we were on Patreon, I would need to, somehow convince $300 more of pledges out of thin air to get back to where we were. I don't think it's going to happen. I think what we need to do is just have more reasonable goals here on the streams, and then work with those goals to make sure that they're in line with realism. Because we didn't know what the realistic amount of subs that I could get was, right? We didn't know. All right. Shout out to... Hold on a second here because we got an idiot. I'm going to give Das Boot. Goodbye. Bradford, who just resubbed for the 3rd month in a row. Thank you, Bradford, for the resub. And enjoy your Silver Crown Chat badge. Okay. Wow. You guys got to hear this one. Imperium of Man 89 tipped me $1 and says, I've been in and out of a few streams, and I keep hearing your fans saying they're being contacted by trolls and harassed by them. How do you know it's true and not just them hating on the trolls? Are you kidding me? Yes, because people would just make up the fact that people are PMing them and attacking them. Why would they even do that? What would be the purpose? It doesn't even make sense. Anyway, I love tits. Cheered says, why not keep your pre-streams concise, short pre-recorded clips? I thought your throat hurt. Save it for the commentary. Because I've got plugs to do, and then I've got shout-outs to do. What else would you like me to do? This is what streaming is, right? When people cheer, sub, or tip, I'm supposed to give a shout-out. I mean, I was done with my pre-stream 45 minutes ago. But then I started reading the shout-outs, and here you go. So I don't know what else to say, dude. You can't have it both ways, right? You have a short, concise pre-stream, but then I'm not doing shout-outs for cheer, subs, and tips, right? So then I'm not doing an interactive stream. So what do you want? Gooberman just did a 50-bit cheers to play King of Fighters 14 is getting an update soon. No. And AES cheered again and said the problem with having sub goals is that the one group Twitch subs doesn't get an opportunity to vote for the games or vote for anything unless they also pledge money with Patreon. No, and I know AES, and sadly no one's been able to provide me a solution to that. Because from what I'm to understand, there's no real active way, okay, that you can export information regarding all of your subs on Twitch. Now, I've looked into this. I tried it myself. I requested from Twitch, can I get like a spreadsheet of data or anything regarding subs? They don't even have it organized. We're like, oh, here's a list of email addresses. They don't even have that data. Okay? So that's what I mean. Like, I don't know how I would do that. I would love it so that I could say, okay, if you subscribe to the channel, you now have the ability to nominate and vote on games, you know, for a playthrough. I don't know how to do that. I've asked people, and they're like, I don't know how to do it. You know, there's no data available to get information and say, I just want to message all of my subs or have just my subs participate in an event. Like some people have said, do a subs only, you know, multiplayer session. How? How do I contact just the subs and say, you guys are eligible to be in a multiplayer session. I need this information from you. There's no way to do it. You know what I mean? And I get it, AES. He says, well, that's why it's better to go back to Patreon goals because then you could do that. You could just message the patrons. No, you're right. But again, I was doing that for years, and it reached kind of its natural conclusion at the end of 2017 when people said, we don't want to contribute via Patreon anymore because we want to contribute via the streams. That was the thing. People wanted to be an interactive part of these streams, so they stopped pledging to Patreon, right? I didn't tell them to. They naturally just did this by themselves. So ideally, we need a way that people contribute via the streams, but also there's a way for me to get events just for the streams, and no one seems to have a solution for that right now. It doesn't seem to exist on Twitch. Astro Jetboy, what you're saying is incorrect. He says, Twitch will give you a spreadsheet of subs in the revenue page. No, they don't. It says it. It doesn't work. I've tried it before. It doesn't work. You cannot actually get that data. It doesn't work. And also, there's no message. It would be one thing if, like, oh, so I got a spreadsheet of 430 subs. That's nice. Well, I'm not going to send 430 manual emails. So is there a way to mass message people? No, there's not. Not on Twitch. They call me Pineapple Man. Says, I attack an obvious troll and I get timed out, but the obvious trolls can continue to post without having anything done. The mods have their priorities confused. I don't know what's going on there, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Shout out to the Broken Legs, who says, Phil, I think tipping can also be used as a form of trolling. I think people are intentionally trying to prolong the pre-stream just so they can capture drama. Of course. Of course, I'm sure there's people that's the case. I guarantee you there's people that's the case. I guarantee it. Absolutely. 100%. All right, everyone. Let us end the pre-stream. Sorry, I got a stupid automated message from some dumb company. Anyway. Yeah. Let's end the pre-stream. Let's get to the game. Finally. One of the longest pre-streams I've ever done. Because people just keep cheering and asking questions or leaving comments. So. Now we got Anonymous. Just did a 100-bit cheer and says, how about this? A bit goal to do an event and then a sub goal to vote. Both Streamlabs and Twitch dashboard have a sub export. Tevin did a video on it. Anonymous, you may not realize this. Bit goals are 100% against Twitch terms of service. You cannot use bits as a form of currency. You cannot use bits as a form of motivation to do anything. The one exception is if you want to give like a shout out to someone who cheers, that's allowed. But you cannot actually have a bits goal at all. That is 100% against Twitch terms of service. I know, because guess what? I talked to Twitch about it. I asked them specifically what is allowed and what is not allowed. And they actually said, you can do tip goals. You can do subscriber goals. You can never do bit goals. It's completely not allowed whatsoever. That is 100% against the Twitch terms. So that would never happen. Bits can never be involved in any kind of goal or event or anything like that. Okay? There you go. And if you don't believe me, go read the terms of service for yourself because it is there in black and white. That's what the terms of. A lot of people ask me, "Oh, Phil, how can you say to people, oh, they should tip you during streams?" Because that's allowed. Tips are fine. Subs are fine. Bits, you cannot ask. It's that simple. Okay. All right, folks. Now let us end the pre-stream. Let's end the pre-stream and begin, finally, with Burnout gameplay. All right, here we go.